Joining me now, Republican House Majority Whip, Congressman Kevin McCarthy from California. Good morning to you, Sir Whip.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
So obviously the big story of the headlines is this Eric Holder contempt vote, and you were around in 2008 and when the House last had a contempt vote for a member of the administration, and back then you went out on the steps and protested this vote and boycotted it. You were there behind Speaker Boehner. At the time, Dana Perino, the White House spokeswoman, said this, quote, "The White House had tried to compromise with House Democrats to help lawmakers obtain information from Mr. Bolton and Ms. Meyer short of public testimony. Many of the things that they asked for we were willing to give," Ms. Perino said, "but instead they're going to waste time on this partisan, futile act." Is the contempt vote for Mr. Holder a partisan, futile act?
No, not at all, because if you just go back earlier a year ago, look at the number of Democrats that signed a letter asking the administration for the same information. I mean, every step of the way we have said, we will delay the contempt vote, not have it, just give up on the information. It's quite unusual and quite different that in the 11th hour that they go to executive privilege. That to me is a little disturbing. And the difference here is an American died. Doesn't the American public have a right to know? An American died by gun-running guns that the American government knew. If you look just on the committee itself, we have former U.S. attorneys in there and others. I think this is a case that has been very upfront and bipartisan in the process. The difference is here, at the very last minute, they're playing politics to withhold the information.
You are of the leadership, and you obviously know that the issue that allowed you to become whip was the economy. Are you worried that the focus now is on something like the Eric Holder contempt vote? It's not on the economy, that the average voter out there says, look, House Republicans aren't about creating jobs. They're just about obstructing the president and being a thorn in his side.
No, if you tune in today to the Congress, we'll be having 7 bills on the floor of job creation and energy. I mean, this is a package that's come out of HEAT, the House Energy Action Team that we've been working with. They've all been bipartisan out of committee. If you look at the job creation in America, if you go to North Dakota, they have 3% unemployment. They don't have enough housing for those who are coming in. They find that even if you work at a fast food restaurant at McDonald's, you're paid $15 an hour. How is this happening? With the new technology, the ability to discover the resources that we have, and you've grown the ability to produce oil. We can do that across America. That's why if you look at the floor today, it's all about jobs, and it's what we've been talking about all day yesterday as well.
But there's no big comprehensive jobs bill.
Well, you know, the most important thing is to end uncertainty. And first, you've got an energy policy that's right here that doesn't have a policy that could make us energy independent, but this bill will. And the difference here is it could get started right away. You look at, on private lands, production has gone up 14%. But on public federal lands, they've gone down 14%. We have a great deal of growth here. So what I look at, here's a jobs plan to move forward. In July, we'll try to stop the tax increases that are coming forward. Moving this economy forward means job creation, focusing on the economy,
let's talk about
energy. Yes.
Okay, let's talk about energy, because I'm looking at some stats from the U.S. Energy Information Administration. Oil imports are at their lowest since 1997. The 2011, the last year we have stats for, was the highest crude oil output in 8 years. The U.S. right now has 1,977 operational rigs versus 1,471 for the rest of the world. What more can the administration do?
Well, the administration can stop the backlog. Because why don't you drill a little deeper into those numbers? Actually, we're at the lowest we've been since 1994. That has come from private lands. That has come from places like North Dakota, which has surpassed California and Alaska. Not on the federal lands. If you take even further, these are the least amount of federal leases we have had since 1994. So we're even lower. The backlog within federal leases is actually holding up 65,000 jobs. So the difference here, privately, yeah, we've been able to produce. Well, why hasn't that been a direct correlation with public? Because of the holdup within government. That is the fundamental difference. That's what we're trying to change today. And the other difference could be we could expand even further. Our trade deficit would shrink, our foreign policy would be different, and more people would be back to work. That's why on the floor today we're making a big change, and we hope Democrats will join us.
I'll let you get out of here with this one. Is it fair to say that your colleague Paul Ryan would be your pick for VP?
Paul Ryan would be a great pick for VP. I think when you look at what he's able to do, the numbers that he's able to crunch, but really put America on a path to a new prosperity, I think he'd be a pick for independents, Democrats, and Republicans.
So you're for him to be vice president?
Hey, I'm for Paul Ryan all the way, no matter whatever he does.
Kevin McCarthy, the whip from California, and losing softball coach last night. Thank you so much for joining us.